Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another all-out NRL fantasy podcast. Round 20, boys. Origin tomorrow night, and the team lists are in. And there are some big names, boys. Cleary and Preston, and many more that we will touch on. But how are we, Macca and Mick?
I'm good, thanks, Dor. How are you?
I'm great, Dor. Probably a week where we don't really think about fantasy much.
No.
At least until, Thursday morning.
No, not even Thursday morning. I think I'll still be celebrating potentially Thursday morning.
Thursday morning you'll either be celebrating or in
morning.
In morning.
In morning.
It probably takes at least 2 weeks for the other victory to... all year you're thinking about the victory, really.
Oh, yeah.
But the loss really holds.
Loss stings.
It does sting.
I was just going to say, quick look at the team list. Some very surprising names. I didn't expect Cleary back so early. Fogarty's back. Adam Reynolds.
Yeah. Hoskins.
Some big names.
Some big names. Yeah, no, and nearly just over a day until the kickoff. I'm going tomorrow night, and I'm very excited and very nervous at the same time.
I'm sort of sick of all these pessimistic Queensland fans saying, this is the year I'm nervous,
Well,
What's changed?
I've tipped Queensland this week, so I'm confident.
Mate, I know your true colours.
No, my confidence has gone up just from Pongo being in and around the team.
He's got presence and aura.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my nerves is just not. It's nothing to do with the.
Oh, I'm nervous.
It's just it's just it's a decider. Like you got to be.
I've seen
nervous.
a lot of people say, I don't know why we're favourites. It's like,
well, we're at home.
Yeah,
do you have a short-term memory?
I was sort of thinking about that, but then I was like, then you think about it like as we were saying last night on the live, like we've got such a good record at Queensland.
Especially in game 3.
I think we've lost 3 in the last.
And then I think when we've won the first game in New South Wales, and then it's come back to a decider in Queensland, I think we've only lost one series, which I think was in 1994, I think. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I do admit when people go, but the last few years New South Wales didn't have a competent coach, I go, actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we actually got someone who can actually have a strategy, have a game plan to win.
And, create a bit of beef, with the glass houses.
He loves the glass houses, little phrase, isn't he?
Yeah.
They'll be very tough to beat, but I've confidence in our boys. Especially Dane Gagai. What an inclusion.
Gagai. He potentially
could be his last.
Yeah.
Well, it could be Ben Hunt's last apparently as well.
What would Gagai be paying for Clive Churchill?
Is that the series award?
Yeah, just the biggest game ever.
It'd have to be a special match, like 5 tries.
Clive Churchill.
Not the Clive Churchill.
The Wally Lewis.
The Wally
Lewis, yeah.
If you think about it like that.
That's player of the, Wally Lewis is the player of the series.
Like, it hasn't been like a real, I guess Moses, we only played one. Like, there hasn't been a real standout. So if Gagai had...
Well, if Queensland win, if DCE has a good game, obviously he won.
But if Queensland win and Gagai scores like 5 tries or something, you'd be like, look, mate.
Tell you what, you turned up.
That's all it took.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm just trying to see what the actual odds are if I can.
I think Maroons are paying $1.80 or $1.85 or something.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about the Wally Lewis.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a fucking I'd
throw money on.
I think DC would probably be favourite, I reckon.
Yeah, because if someone like Reece Walsh has a good game, like
I don't know if you can bet on the Clive. Not the
he's
Clive
not going to get it.
Now Mick's fucking got that stuck in my head. The Wally Lewis medal.
Yeah, sorry, I meant I'm blind.
The Wally Lewis medal.
Moses would be like if Moses has another good game.
Yeah, you can only bet on Sportsbet. There's only player of the match. I'm trying to find where Gagai is. Surely he's somewhere at the top.
He's not even there.
I can't even. Oh, there he is. $61
for man of the match.
For man of the match. Player of the match.
All right, tell you what. Jeez, you won't remember that $5 in 5 years, but you know what you will remember.
Player of the match.
Give me 1 second. I'm jumping straight on that.
Mid podcast. That is embarrassing, mate.
Well, mate, the odds must be wrong because I thought it'd be like $20 or something.
Yeah,
$20. That's the odds for us to win, basically.
$21 is Ben Hunt. He's $21. So that settles on the official player of the match. And it is available in a same game multi as well.
Yeah.
But as we always do, gamble responsibly. What we will do, Mick.
Don't gamble responsibly. Always chase your losses.
He's joking, by the way.
Yes. What we will do is touch on our stunning week from last week, the all-out team, Mick. Look, we obviously lost 8 points by not playing Cartwright last week, but we did the one trade, obviously, of trading out Nico Hines to Keon Kulamatangi, and 65 points. We scored 701 points last week, and are now 2,760th overall. So
we're moving, Dor.
We moved. Like if you think about it, last week before that buy round, we were 4,131.
Yeah.
So
It's nothing to seize that, though.
no, but it's the biggest thing I take away from that is we always say, Macca, is that you can make some serious
100%.
ranks in the buy round. So that's why you really plan and look to absolutely kill it in those rounds.
We thought about Trindle. I wouldn't say Cord definitely tried to convince us, but I'm pretty happy we saved that trade. Tan's got us 41. That'll do.
That'll do, yeah.
And we're sitting pretty with trades.
Yeah, 9 trades now.
As well as Trindle played, the team they were versing was an absolute joke. So
yeah,
that is true.
I don't think it's disaster that if you didn't get him, or to get 70 odd, 70.
You got to try 3 try assists.
Yeah, 70,
Perfect
I think
game,
73 or something.
It's not the end of the world if you didn't get him.
And he also has the bye this week as well, I thought, which was another reason why I was sort of...
Yeah, so really getting third, whatever half of that is, to 2 rounds.
This is where fantasy gets really interesting because this is where you can sort of get whoever you want. You don't have to think about buys.
You start to
see those mega pods.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's really it, that we're obviously moving in the right direction. We're going to have to make a couple of trades this week. We've obviously only got 15 at the moment without any trades for this weekend. And obviously that could change depending on some players if they don't back up from Origin. Actually, speaking of which, I don't think we have any in our 13. We've got Harry Grant, so he would be 1 and our only one, I think, that we need to worry about. But look,
yeah, should we move to the
let's
first
move
game
to
on Friday? Raiders was. It's interesting because Jamal Fogarty is back, as we mentioned before, from that bicep. Hudson Young returns. Seb Chris back into the centres. Weeks remains at fullback. So we've probably said hold in the past. Until he gets a bad score, then pretty simple one.
Yeah, I think definitely for Weeks is definitely a hold, but you could move him on. Like, it's starting to get to the end. I think if not this week, probably next week, like break even at 49 this week for Weeks.
And Big Zach is on the bench.
Yes.
Well, so, if he gets a fantasy start, he is a great player.
Well, look, you're probably actually wanting him to stay on the bench for Canberra and play low minutes.
Yeah, and drop down in price.
Yeah, because next year he's going to be starting with Whitehead going back to England.
I was thinking about next year already.
Yeah, I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking ahead.
He's black booked him.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting in Hoskins next year. He's an
should
absolute
be able
workhorse.
He's a weapon.
What about NRL Fantasy Dynasty? Like, there's an NBA version where you're playing for multiple years.
Isn't that
same with NFL as well?
I think that's already a thing.
Is that?
I think it might be.
I'm not sure for NRL.
Like,
there's
in
definitely
the
for
draft, do you
NBA and
keep the same team?
NFL.
Yeah,
It's pretty
maybe.
rogue. Anyway.
Yeah, but I think you get like first round, you get like picks and everything that you can
it's
trade
full on,
for.
There's been people playing for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this last week. Who do we think's playing fullback for the Wires? They have picked.
Yeah, you and I were
Tuapiki.
talking about that. Yeah.
So I think that's the right decision.
RTS on the wing, which I think is actually better for him, in my opinion.
I think that could be better for him as well. Bit of a more work.
Do you want to have a
work
go at
or
that
tries.
pronunciation, door? Ali Leatawa? He's in the centres.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how you spell it.
It doesn't even go try.
Leotar.
Leatawa, yeah, I like that. And Tohu Harris, unfortunately, out for the season.
Yes. Now, Dylan Walker, what do we think? Because obviously Mitch Barnett, I think, is with Tohu out now. I think he's going to be...
That's actually a great point, Tor. He's $499K.
He's been
and he will score well. He's starting lock.
Barnett is obviously at prop as well.
Dylan Walker lock, Barnett prop.
I think they're the
both
two
good players,
players
obviously.
you're probably looking at. Fanua Blake sort of been a bit average. I think he's thinking of the lovely the Shire a bit too much. A bit like Frodo, I think, thinking of the Shire.
Tuapiki isn't worth trading in because Senko's only out for a couple of weeks.
But yeah, like you said, Mick, 29 break even for Walker. I think he's definitely one to watch. Obviously, he got 62 points in their obviously overtime game against the Dogs last start with no Tohu Harris. So like he could be a serious option.
Yeah.
And the Wars obviously don't have their bye to the very last round. So for head-to-head players, he's not going to most leagues finish up the week before.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think he's a great option. But I'd wait 1 week and then probably get him next week. I think Mitch Barnett, if you haven't got him yet, is the standout break even of 13.
Next game is Rabbits Tigers. I got FOMO looking at the Rabbits forward pack. Kwalamantangi is named at 13. I really thought they'd put Murray back at lock, but no. So I'm buying him immediately. And that's about the only change. Murray at edge.
Yeah,
which is
Murray
very
just back
interesting.
on the edge. Obviously, Jai Arrow had his surgery the day after.
Did you think that was weird that, like, did they just really want to play, like, their best side?
Yeah.
Because he was planning that surgery.
Yeah. But I think it's just like
I just thought it was weird that, like, is it an injury where it's not at risk?
It's a pain management one. It's like you'll be in pain, but you can play without.
Yeah, you're not risking further injury.
And Arrow is a
That makes
better
sense,
option than, I guess, the other players.
Do you reckon it's just because of the loss that he definitely went in and got the surgery?
I think it's also.
I think he would have just because of the Murray back.
Yeah.
It's
you know,
also
like-
the emergence of
the Murray
at,
back.
at 13.
Yeah.
They can afford to put Murray to back row.
Yeah.
For the Tigers, De Silva takes over at hooker for Appy, who's injured.
Yeah,
for
only
a
a
couple
1 week.
week.
Only a 1 week. He should be back next week.
Or is that
Yeah,
just rumors?
NRL physio said. I'm pretty sure.
Just
I'll
like a
just
little
double
strain.
check now, but I'm pretty sure I saw physio say
Alex
today.
Lobb is
I was thinking-
sidelined with an ankle injury.
I was thinking of selling Appy, but if he's only out for 1 week, it's probably a hold.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Also
sure.
to note, Alex
Yeah.
Twal is finally back. Not really sure what was happening there. I think he had ongoing concussion symptoms.
Few,
Would have liked a
trials
few
at
comms though, you know? I would have loved a few comms from the Tigers. So I didn't have to hold for 5 weeks, then trade, then he gets picked.
Yeah, well, see, Coruscant's actually been named in jersey 22 for the Tigers,
he's like an
but
outside
it's
chance to play.
it said that Daily Telegraph's
Just
reporting
rest him.
1 to 2 weeks. So I don't think he'll play this week, but he'll be back next week, I reckon.
Yep. Next game, Knights Broncos. I think I'm tipping the Knights to their door with respect.
Oh, that's fair enough, considering if you look at the Broncos team, we've named the fucking same team as last week.
Do you want to have a rant about that and maybe Kevin
Surely
Walters?
some of those Orange boys play because the
Yeah.
Broncos literally need to win if they
If
haven't already been
we
knocked out.
lose this game, we have to win, I think, every game from
Yeah, I was just about to ask you rather, what has gone wrong with the Broncos this season? Is it something to do with a tough draw, injuries?
I don't think
poor
it's a
coaching?
tough draw. I think it's a bit of poor coaching, a bit of bad luck with a few injuries. But at the same time, I think like some of the decisions coaching wise the last couple of weeks, I think have been quite poor.
I agree.
You think about last weekend against the Dragons, Willison came off, and he was basically the only prop that was going forward for us. And then you've only got Tapau. Yeah, to his credit, I thought Marty had
wasn't
one of
bad,
his
yeah.
best games in a while. But yeah, like Jensen's a worker. He's not really like, someone to give you really good go forward. I think that's what we're struggling with, as well as just that lack of go forward to then help our outside backs, create obviously some really poor defense on the edge as well last weekend. But yeah, obviously a bit of hard luck. Obviously Adam Reynolds there and jersey 24. I think we've missed him the most out of everyone.
He's one of the most important players in the comp, you'd say.
Yeah. So, it just hasn't been it. Obviously, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be very tough. I think it's going to. I just don't know if we're going to make it. I think we're gonna finish short.
Yeah,
I think we could see
it.
us going on a couple of wins, but I don't know if we can win basically every game bar one.
Yep.
Is I think the scenario we have to get. So,
Anyway, with the team list for the Knights, everyone's backing up from Origin. So Sharp unfortunately drops out. KP breaking with 77. I still think he's a good buy.
I think with Ponga,
You probably wait a week.
I think you wait 2.
Buy next week.
So, no, I think with Ponga, so I had a look at the draw earlier. The Knights, I did a bit of research actually with the
else?
fullbacks.
This is what we're doing in our spare time, you know?
Yeah. So Ponga obviously high break even this week. Then they play Penrith next week. Then the Knights have a bye. And then the Knights have an absolute dream 5 games to finish the season. So I think
you
if you
jump
want to
on.
buy Ponga, this is Supercoach and Fantasy. You want to get him after their bye round. That's when he'll be at his like lowest price, unless he absolutely goes off for like 100 and something this
That's
week.
a good point, Dor.
So I think you get him in, if you're looking at Ponga, you get him in after the Knights bye, I think, which is round 22, I believe. So round 23, you want to be getting Ponga in. If you want a fullback option this week, it's probably if Walsh plays or Turbo. But if you're getting Walsh, you only want him for like 3 weeks because the Broncos have got a pretty Good
and
draw.
speaking on the Broncos, they've, as Dor said, named the same team. Reckon those Origin players back up?
I think they have to.
They have to, yeah.
I think they have to, but look, the way Kevy's going at the moment, I don't know.
He's given up.
He'll get torn to shreds if they don't.
Oh, I think he's in real danger if the we're 13th at the moment. We were like in the top 4, I think.
I'd never really
some
rate him that
stage.
much as a coach, but it's like if Reynolds doesn't get injured, you're still sitting pretty.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so as well. Like you think about Walsh played his first game 2 weeks
A
ago.
lot of Broncos talk here.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is Mick on the Knights is obviously we were thinking that Mr. Gamble was coming back and he is 18th man. Price has kept his starting 6 jersey
For now.
I
really thought they'd pick Gamble because I thought Adam O'Brien is delusional.
Well, they still could. Like he's 18th man. He could be a late change.
Well,
But
Barry too
God, that
was,
would
Barry
bite
too
people
was
in the
saying
arse.
that Price is going to come out. So
I thought
Just wait.
Price.
Can
has
we get
been
like a
great.
strike rate on Barry Toohey?
he'd be
It's pretty good.
pretty high. Yeah.
80%?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe more for Barry.
Yeah.
He's solid.
Let's keep
Throw some
moving on.
roach up.
We've
next game is Storm Roosters.
the big one.
Saturday at Amy Park.
Massive game, isn't it?
Geez, what's there to note really?
Terrell May.
Terrell May starting.
Everyone
That's
knew that
definitely something for the Roosters. Sawali's back.
Nick Meaney's back for the Storm.
Nick Meaney's back for the Storm. Grant has been named to return.
No, Joe
after
Chan.
Origin. No, Joe
No,
Chan.
Joey.
A Nightman, Supercoach.
Remus Smith is obviously 18th man, so he could be back.
And for the
very soon.
Roosters, all their players are named to back up. I did see reports that Joey Manu may be close to a return, which was
Yeah, I don't think
shocking.
it'll be this week. He hasn't even been named in the 24 man squad.
I don't
so
even think he'll be back next
no,
week.
I don't think he'll be back anytime soon. I think the biggest thing, the
White
question
on the
I
bench.
want to ask Mick is Tyrrell May. Is he a buy?
If you didn't have him, I agree.
Because you think about it, Hargreaves is out for a month
He's gonna absolutely
and he's
explode.
starting now. He's surely gonna.
Yeah, he is.
If you need a middle, I'd recommend. If you don't have like Kwamatangi already,
How much is he?
he's still-
730.
He's
Yeah,
had one of the weirdest fantasy
731K.
seasons ever.
7. Yeah, he's
I
still.
think at that price you can get him up. Like
Yeah, it's not a bad option. You'd probably rather, well, if Haas
Mitch
gets named,
Barnett
you'd probably
or
rather
Haas.
a Haas.
Yeah. Haas and Barnett, I think, are probably the ones you want.
Barnett,
and
sure.
Tyrrell May probably third, I'd say.
Next game is Panthers Dolphins, also a good one.
most
Cleary
certainly.
is
He's back,
back,
but don't buy him this week.
and I'll never buy him
Less.
again. No, just joking. He's the goat of fantasy.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame anyone for buying him.
Just with Nico not being in fantasy at the moment, it's like Cleary could just get popped straight away. It'd be the perfect captain's choice. But I think you hold back at least a week.
Yeah,
At
96
least.
break even.
I don't have
this
a
week.
buy left to that either.
Yeah, and you think about it, this is his. So he's coming back from his second stint from the sidelines with the hamstring injury. I honestly think you've got to at least wait 1 week, see how he pulls up this
I
week.
was
You're looking to take a risk though.
could be a play.
Yeah,
Could be a big play.
try and make ground
The
up.
Dolphins are a pretty good defensive team as well, and they're good. Like I said, it's not a matchup curse where
It could help
it could
as
eat
well.
100 points.
In my opinion, I think it could help in the way that Panthers have named their side. Obviously, the Origin players are all named. in the extended.
Isaiah,
And Edwards and Yo both haven't been named at all, so they're not even on the extended bench. Obviously, Luai and Martin are, but I think for me that gives me great clarity that I'm not getting Cleary this week
It's fair enough, too.
without those players. If they were playing, it'd be hard not to.
So are
not
you willing
get him in.
to run a half marathon if he gets? What are you predicting he's going to get? How many points?
How many points do I reckon Cleary would get?
Less than, yeah.
I reckon he'll
Or
get
less
60
than.
on the
I
dot.
was going to say he's going to get around 60, 65 on the
There it
weekend.
is, gentlemen. Listen up closely.
Baited.
I'll
That's
run a
over
half
what he's-
marathon eventually. I never said I had to do it like this weekend with Nico Hines getting over 55. Anyway, we'll move on to the Finns. TBJ was great last week.
Stunning.
Yeah, are we thinking about him?
Oh, I don't know.
I just wanted to talk about it straight away because we know we have history, but he was great.
467, 50. I don't know. To be honest, it's sort of like one of those players at this pointy end of the season.
It could just be a one-off.
Yeah, with all due respect to Tavita, he has a game like this, then he goes quiet for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
I just don't think I can
you go, Dil.
justify getting someone like that.
Yeah,
that
that's
that
valid.
price
You
range.
need to be getting
Either bottom
guns
or
or bottom.
high. Yeah.
Hammer and Kafusi have been named to return. Little Trey Fuller retains a spot in the team though.
Yeah, on the bench.
Probably wouldn't hold. Big sell,
Yeah.
but he serves people well. That's definitely.
I just think you wait with Fuller and Hammer. Like, there's a great chance that they
that's true.
that Hammer gets
It's one to
ruled out. And then,
watching our stories closely.
yeah, 100% Mick.
And clicking that.
Yeah,
like button.
subscribe and like button. Yeah. Well, Kafusi, obviously, Aiken, definitely a sell, obviously.
Yeah, and Aiken, obviously. So
Quickly, just before we move on, Mick, what are our thoughts on Big Maxi Plath? Obviously, with the hooker, he got obviously a decent
JMK's
score.
out for a while, isn't he?
Yeah, but he got a decent score on Supercoach, or like a fair score
What
on
are you getting, fantasy,
Supercoach.
about 40?
Fantasy he only got 35.
Yeah. He didn't run.
Yeah,
I said it on the podcast. I was like, I feel like he's just going to prioritize his service.
Oh yeah,
and he did.
He's missing 10 or 12 runs that he gets at lock. I probably wouldn't sell him if you had him, but
Give him one more week, you reckon?
He's on the radar.
Definitely,
Yeah,
He's
man,
not
definitely
a priority sell, I don't think.
No,
No,
I think just
see
give
how
him
he
one
goes
more
this
week. Yeah,
Yeah, we might.
yep.
We
He
might
might be a
chuck him in
sell
a
next
hold.
week. Hold, yeah, for sure this week. Yep.
Next game is Manly Titans. From what I can see, everyone's named to return. Tommy T's still at fullback, and he was pretty good there.
Yeah. What about
Very good.
Hopewadi? Stunning
Hopewadi
on
was
the
stunning.
wing.
He's on
a
the
gun.
wing. People who held him, I think we had him in our holds.
He was definitely mentioned in this buy, hold, sell podcast. I don't know if he was on the templates, but we
Eight.
definitely did say hold in our
and-
podcast.
They've got a crazy backline.
So obviously Burbo's back on the bench this week. Lawton keeping that starting
Paseka
spot.
listed in the reserves.
And then, Paseka's
I know,
looks
a
like
few
he's
people
probably
bought him.
back next week.
People bought
Bizarre
Paseka.
buy.
The Titans, Keeney has been named at fullback.
Yeah, what's doing there? Why is Brimson named at 19?
Groin injury.
Yeah.
Well, like rehab from his groin injury. I don't know what to make of this.
I feel bad for Kenny.
I don't know. I was about to buy Keeney last week because I thought for sure there's no way you can drop your best player from the last month.
Well, look, if they lost, it'd definitely be something that would have been spoken about. But obviously they won. So then,
I bought Jaden Campbell and said so.
yeah, that's what I was going to
And
say.
apparently
Largely
he's-
due to one JC.
JC literally said his hand is basically like it's just luck if it holds up. He said it's cooked,
It's a
which
great
is,
thing
which
to
is
hear.
great to hear.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Thanks, JC. At least you're playing, mate. Respect.
And playing very well, may I add.
Yeah, that's about it for the Titans.
Do you think that Brimson comes in though? Or do you? Because I was
I don't know.
my concern was that
Carter
Brimson
Gordon
came up.
comes in.
Brimson came off early. I was thinking it was just like it was planned that they were going to get only play him, but now I'm starting to think with this that no, I think that he's actually might have picked up a niggle or whatever in it again and didn't feel confident.
Maybe they're looking for any excuse to be like, look, AJ, just take a little break, mate.
You know
Or
what
maybe
we need?
just
we need
coming back, he's giving him a week off. He's trusts Keeney to do the Titans well this week.
Yeah.
Give Brimson the week off this week, and then he comes back in
Is
next
there
week.
a Titans Barry Tui? Because we need one.
We need someone.
We need
close to
someone
Desi.
with the mail.
We need someone close to Desi to tell us
We're
what's
not
doing.
getting any.
No, because we didn't get the Keeney, that mail. Obviously, the 24-hour mail didn't give us anything, and then an hour before,
very
that was
late.
the mail.
Well, I was versing Flats and he had Keeney and I had Keeney and I saw the late mail. He didn't. Really all it takes.
Just goes to show.
That's what, pays
Whatever
to
it
pay
takes,
attention
yeah,
to our
exactly.
story.
All notifications on.
Final game of the round is the Cows Doggies.
Cows are just named all their origin
yeah.
stars on the bench
I
again.
I'm so sick of
I want to bring
Payton.
focus to one player here. Matt Burton.
Bye.
Jump on.
Yeah, great schedule.
You know, he's had a run of like not
he'll
big
be-
games,
he'll
but
be
he's
a
been
little
like
pod as
in
well.
and out of the Origin squad. Like I think he's going to come home flying.
They
'Cause
got
they're looking for a top 4 spot as well.
Just to Todd Payton. Can you just give us an early call? Like, I know you're putting him in the reserves, which is all well and good, but don't wait until, Sunday morning to make that decision. Just say Friday Arbor, yeah, they'll be right.
Oh, if it's the last game,
they're in the
if
reserves.
it's the last game, you'd think.
Well, they were
they'd
in the
back up,
last
hey?
game, last Origin, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And they were in the reserves and didn't play. Well, Cotter didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they've got to win as well because they're coming, 8th or something. So
Cowboys, isn't it? They still got another bye up their sleeve as well. So, I think Burton's definitely
is back.
Yeah, I think Burton, Presto's back as well. For someone like me who ran out of trades and still had Presto in their side, I'm fucking cheering. He's straight in and straight starting, so I'm pumped with that. And obviously Max King, Mick, he's probably like Aiken, another sell, a popular owned player. Unfortunately, out for 6 weeks.
Curran.
It looks like Curran and Mann, I think will benefit.
Joshy Curran.
So
I think he might be in our buys segment.
Carraz is obviously just a gun. If you haven't got him and you're looking for a center, he's probably one of the better options.
Yep. Right, that wraps it up.
Yeah, that's
I was just going
TLT.
to say, before we finish the podcast, who would be your top buys this week real quick? I'm thinking Joshy Curran. Recency bias just because we talked about him, but
I reckon Barnett, Coleman Matangi if you don't have him.
Dylan Walker.
Yeah, I like Dylan Walker a lot. Who else do?
Oh, lots to like.
Matty Burton.
I'm thinking.
Really depends on where you want to go with your team.
Yeah, maybe like Haas if you don't have him and his name to return.
Haven't really studied this that much, but look,
Are there any cheapies on the radar?
Look, I think you had to get JC last week. He's obviously another great
Maybe
buy.
you could jump on Jai Gray now or a bit too late.
Yeah, maybe it is a bit too
Jai
late.
Gray.
How did
I'd probably say Barnett. Barnett's definitely one. I reckon Ruben Garrick is another one.
Yeah.
If you don't have Ruben Garrick, got 59 and played 60 minutes.
Yeah.
He could have probably got like 70, 80 if he played the full 80 minutes.
Filthy.
And then, Dylan Walker's a great option.
Yeah, I like Walker.
That's who I'd go. That's who might.
Terrell May as well, maybe.
Yeah, he's probably 4. Look, if I didn't want to include 2 Warriors, I'd probably go maybe just because of the origin, maybe go May or Keon Kulamatangi's a great option. There's probably like a handful
There's a lot.
of players.
We'll talk about it on
Burton's
BHS.
a great option as well.
We'll talk about it on BHS.
Yeah, and review the origin.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck to Queensland.
Yes.
No luck to Hainsey and his
Blues.
Blues.
I can't fucking wait for the game. I'm so fucking excited.
Door's going.
Door's still.
Any all-out fans in the at Suncorp?
I might even do like a little. We'll be there nice and early. I might even do like a little like live stream or something.
Wow.
Do some questions or something with wobbling while we wait.
Yeah,
lovely
like
content. Live.
Yeah, fucking live from the ground. Oh,
Good
man.
stuff.
All right.
Anyway, thanks
enjoy
for
your
listening.
Origin footy and best of luck this week.